Hi, so this is the New Wave Brio 4-quart, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rattle off a bunch of bad things about this and a bunch of good things about this. And that doesn't mean I disapprove of this, but I find that in a lot of reviews, people don't concentrate on the bad. So I want people to make a better informed decision when I highlight the bad aspects of it as well as the good aspects. So let me go ahead and talk about the bad aspects of it. So the first thing that's bad is if you look at this particular pan, it has sort of like the frying pan grill at the bottom, and those things are very hard to clean, and they also flake. So that is particularly bad when you're talking about ease of cleaning and also longevity. So you could see here that this thing is very hard to clean compared to your typical air fryers, which has the metal drip pan grill that can be easily cleaned with a scouring pad. These things, you have the dirt and grime and the grease that goes in between, and when you run it over with a scouring pad, it actually eats into the scouring pad. So that's a very bad aspect of this. Going through some of the bad aspects. When you look at the pan itself as compared to the exterior, so for something that's 3 quarts here, it actually takes up a lot of countertop space. This thing is more or less the size of a 6 quart. So for example, the base of this is actually 10.5 inches by 10.5 inches. Well, a 6 quart one for your typical air fryer is 11.5 by 11.5. So this is just an inch difference, a square at the bottom. So if you're going to get something like this that's a 3 quart and you're worried about countertop space, then you might as well just get a 6 quart. So this is the bad thing about it is that it is particularly big for its size. Something that I notice also is if you really look at the plastic, it's a little bit flimsy. It's not your typical metal or harder plastic. It looks like it's normal, the normal, I don't want to say toy plastic, but that's what it feels like if you really look at this. So the quality of the plastic is not the greatest. So that is one bad thing about this. Now, I did mention that it was hard to clean. Now the top, you'll see here, actually heats up a little bit more than the other ones. Now it's good that it's a flat top because you could put stuff on it, but it heats up a little bit more than the other ones. Going on to another bad feature is if you look at the plug here, you could see the plug is simply a 2-prong plug. Now this is very common even in some of the 6 quarts that have 1200 watts or 1500 watts of energy or electricity that it uses, but it would be nice if it actually has a 3-prong plug there instead of a 2-prong. So that is one of the bad features. So now I'm going to go through some of the better features. Now if I zoom in here and I push the on, you'll notice it has a start and a pause. So it's kind of nice that it has an explicit pause. So when you're in the middle of cooking, you just push the pause. Now you could do the same effect by just pulling the tray out like a lot of other air fryers, but it's just nice that it has an explicit pause button. Another good feature is it actually has an explicit preheat button. So you could preheat, whereas the other ones, once you start off, it just automatically preheats, whereas here you actually have a preheat button. The other thing about this is that the top is flat. So it's nice when the top is flat. You could put stuff on it, utensil, you could put the food on it, you could put a tray or dish on it. At some point in time, you're going to actually use the flat top for that reason. Now I believe that air does get sucked in here, so you might not want to cover it with a cloth, but at least you have the flat top. Now, one of the other special features of this is that it actually has a retractable cord. So if I spin this around, this cord here actually retracts. So I could push the cord in and lengthen or shorten it. So that is a very nice and awesome feature about this. And I think that's really it. Those are the bad and good that I have. And I hope this helps, and please subscribe, and thank you for watching.